All right. Good morning, everybody. It is 10 a.m. on the dot. I hope everybody's doing great. We have today our annual needs assessment session. And on the chat, I'm gonna keep including it. It's the link to the needs assessment. At some point I might start sharing the results live. Excuse me. And then for those of you who are interested in receiving a certificate denominating the hours that you have participated in Academy, the link is also active for you to request your certificate. The reason I do this is because I want to make sure I spell names, titles correctly, and I have the exact amount of hours that you guys have been attending the Academy. So part of today is just more of a conversation between all of us. I want us to talk about what some of the lessons learned during this academic year. And if you have any questions, any answers, have the space today to do so. So without further ado, I want to open the floor to anybody who wants to start talking about their lessons learned. Feel free to unmute yourselves.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a newbie, and my name is Maria. I am a program coordinator for the Breast Surgical Oncology Department fellowship program at MD Anderson. And I am having a Thursday brain, I think it is. Is that what you call it?
Yes.
So forgive me if I'm pausing a lot, but what I was going to say, one of the things that I keep on trying to remind myself, and I tend to remember it when I go to the ACGME meetings, and then I completely drop off by like September, October, is to make time for our well-being. And that could be time for just for a walk, or time to take a course online that is going to help me manage my time better, work on a project, anything that has to do with my work that's going to ease my mind. And that is, aside from all the other issues about getting evaluations returned on time, and even that little thing, well, I say little, but it takes a lot. And that is the one thing that I tend to struggle most of the time with, because I feel like we wear multiple hats. It's not just education that we deal with. We always step in to train somebody or to help with the department. And it's just very difficult for me to figure out how to balance those things, where I can also look for my own growth and my own well-being too, to just have some time to breathe. I'm on at 6 o'clock in the morning, until 6 o'clock at night. And then if I have time at night, instead of picking up my book, I'll just sign back on at 10. So, there's a lot of progress to be made there. So any words of advice will be great.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm a fellowship coordinator at University of Pennsylvania. And just to kind of piggyback on that, I think it's important to find what works for you. I think wellness is extremely important in this role, but I know I go to a lot of different symposiums about wellness, and even at ACGME, and there's a lot of talk of boundaries, which I think is very important, but I think it's also what works best for you. I had a lot of like, don't give out your cell phone to your residents or fellows, don't do this, don't do that. But it has to be what works best for you. There's definitely days that I work way more than other days. Um, and I feel like the balance works for me. I've had people tell me they couldn't handle how I structure my well-being, but I think it's important, and I'm not saying people judge you, but I think when they give advice, which I appreciate, but you have to find what works for you. So my days I work from home may not be as heavily work as the days I'm in the office. Maybe I'm in the office 10 hours that day, but then I get a little relief on my home days. So I think that's really important. And just be true to yourself, what works for you.
My name is Rashana Gaskin. I'm a senior program administrator for the fellowship program at the University of Michigan. I wanted to piggyback off of what Laura said. I'm 95% remote, and I found attending these sessions and going to our other conferences that we attend is that once you make your own structure and your boundaries, that will work. For me, right after credentialing, I take a vacation. Right before we go to do interview season in the fall, I take a vacation. I try to schedule a few days off every month just to regroup, or call it wellness, balance, whatever it is, whether I go read 2 books at home by myself or go get a mani-pedi or ride my bike. If you don't structure, or not structure, but if you, the programs can function without you, basically, whether you stay at the job, get a promotion or whatever. So if you feel your health is declining, you need to assess what you need. And hopefully you have the resources and communication to reach out to other program coordinators or the managers or whoever. But scheduling vacation, you shouldn't feel guilty for that, because you earn that. That's part of your package. And if you can't be well for yourself, how are you going to be well for your program? So that's my 2 cents.
Hi, this is Valerie Brown. I'm over at UC Davis Mind Institute, and I manage about 3 fellowships over here. And I want to piggyback on what Rashana just said as well. You know, it's almost as if you have to, for lack of a better term, you have to find your own groove, basically, and what works for you. And what I love about, the people that I work with, and even this position, is that if you once you become a little more comfortable in your position, you will see that you're able to move things around, and eventually, you put yourself first, and you will master not only how to do that, but how that's part of the whole multitasking. And so for me, what I do every April and every October, I leave the country. I go on yoga retreats, every April, every October. And then while I'm here, I hike, or, I do my yoga and so forth. So it's like you just really need to, find it and not become overwhelmed, and don't think that you're on this island all by yourself. There's so many people here, so many tools put into place to help you succeed and to guide you, because there are so many different moving parts in what we do. Things pop up and so forth. So take care of yourself first and foremost, and then you can take care of everyone else. Thank you.
Somebody in the chat put they schedule weekly intentional time for themselves. That's great advice, honestly. Puts it on the calendar to try her best to adhere to it. And she also has a personal to-do list that she follows up every day to make sure that she wants to get the things done. And people have been replying that to-do list work, and that if they don't get something done, they schedule it for the next day. And it's true, because at home, and let me bring this up. At home, I don't work better at home. I work better in the office. Like, this is my safe space to work. At home, my mom talks to me, or if my husband is there, he talks to me. If my daughter is there, he talks to me. And I feel like, I can be pulled to different sides. How has anybody, if anybody else has experience working from home, has it worked for you? What have you done that makes it work for you? Or what does it not work? What would change about working remotely?
I personally, it's Laura from WashU GME. As you can see, I am actually working from home right now. And what I do is mostly the days that I work from home are project days. Like it's the days that I need to not have anybody and everybody stopping by my office, or I try to schedule any of the like big projects that I have to like actually sit down and get into the deep dive data of new innovations or my automation processes or anything else that I do. I try to do those at home because this little office bubble, one of my partners is over here and he's here every day because he works from home all the time. And so, it's that nice little, I do a lot of really hard, I have my headphones on, I'm really focused on things. And then, I get a poke, you need to eat, because I won't remember. I'm one of the few people probably who will forget to eat, just kind of keep working through something. But for me, the days that I work from home are my project days where I don't want interruptions. Most people know that Wednesdays, I know today's not Wednesday, but Wednesday is usually the day that I work from home. And those are project days for me, and that's it. So people have actually gotten into the routine of being like, oh, wait, it's Wednesday, Laura's not available. Or today's a great day for me to ask for this project information since Laura's probably already working on it. But I agree. I work really well in the office, especially since I'm at an institutional level. I don't have one big thing that's just mine and I can't make all the decisions myself. I actually need somebody else's input. So the days that I'm in the office, that's what I'm looking for, is the input and the work together part.
I work from home and have worked from home for the last 4 years. I think I've seen my office maybe 6 times in the last 4 years. When I started this position, it was during COVID. I'm seeing people go, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I started during COVID. Didn't even get to meet my PD, the person that had hired me. When I interviewed with him, it was all via the phone. It wasn't even Zoom. And I got hired in April. I did not meet him until June when I needed him to sign the certificates. And I actually had to Google him to find out what his picture looked like so I could find him at the hospital to get him to sign the things. And people, I'm in physical medicine and rehabilitation now. I used to be in pediatrics, and people from pediatrics said, well, who are you working for now? And I said, pretty sure it's the mafia. Pretty sure. Never met anybody. They send me emails and call me and tell me to do stuff, and I do it and I get paid. So I'm pretty sure it's the mafia. But like I said, I work from home all the time. It has been a godsend for me. It has been so helpful. And I haven't really run into the problems of being distracted so much. For me, it's more, I'll sit here for a couple of hours and then I'll get up and I'll throw a load of laundry in and then I'll come back. Now, saying that, it also means that I don't stop working at 5 o'clock. I don't start working at 9 a.m. I will start whatever time I feel like when I wake up in the morning. If I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, oh my gosh, that's a great idea, I need to do this, then I'm hopping on my email and I'm putting it out in an email. And I actually have an email tagline that says, I often work during non-traditional hours. Don't feel you need to respond to this for that reason. But it's been phenomenal for me. I had a car accident back in February. Bad enough that I'm still in a wheelchair and am non-weight bearing. And being home has allowed me to continue to do my job and even be more productive. So I understand what everybody else is saying about how they get distracted by their husband or their children or their pets or the front door or whatever. I haven't really run into that yet. I've had people just go, oh, okay. she's sitting in front of her computer. We're just going to leave her alone because she gets cranky and if we talk to her. And I do, I get cranky.
But this is Patrice in Dallas. I actually work from home on Mondays and Wednesdays, and the other days I work in the office. But then on some other days, I still come in to the office on the days that I'm supposed to work from home. But working from home worked well when I had COVID. And my husband tested positive for COVID during that time for almost 3 months straight, 2.5 months straight. And so I was at home, so that worked well. But in my area, I don't have a private area. And like right now, I'm in the PD's office because I don't have a place to go for private conversations. So the days working from home, and we handle so much privacy that it works well. And my list, and I'm just like the others, I may start early in the morning. I work longer on the days that I work at home than I do in the office. Now in the office, I'm interrupted more or distracted more in the office, but I have certain. Sorry, I
Patricia.
muted myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I muted myself. But I'll get things done at home, and I'll work longer hours. And like now, and recently, even though we don't have Queen and I, we don't have offices, so it's really hard. We had a flood in the office some months ago, so which brought more people to our area. Presetting is done in our area that's open. And then we had another electrical failure. And so like the other day I was in a Zoom meeting in a conference room, but was kicked out of there because nursing needed to come in and use it real quick. So in the office is really just scattered. It's really scattered. But at home, I work more. I work longer hours. But I want to tell everyone though, when you're doing all of this and you're doing so much and you're working so hard, because what we do is a lot. And I had a doctor's, this was last year, I had a doctor's appointment and my doctor said, Patrice, we haven't seen you in 4 years. And then I was trying to schedule all my appointments and I thought the first doctor was lying just to get me in. I'm not compliant. And I really had not been to my doctor's appointments. Even though I had scheduled them, I had been canceling them. And so just take care, and I'm fine. Luckily, I'm fine. I have no issues besides being older and a bad knee and a bad shoulder. I could tell when the weather's going to change. Other than that, but take care of yourself. I like that idea of making sure you have a personal calendar, a personal to-do list, as well as your work to-do list. Because say this morning, I did 15 tasks before 10 o'clock this morning. So make sure you have your personal to-do list as well as your work list, because your work list is long and it doesn't stop. We just add to it and it continues. It's just 365 days a year. So just take care of yourself also.
This is Bridget Taylor from MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas. And Herrera, it's good to see you. I enjoyed the presentation at ACGME. It was awesome conference this year. I'm still beaming from it. And I manage 3 fellowship programs, CGSO, HPB, and the International Fellowship. And basically, first I want to say for Maria, she's my counterpart, my partner, my ride or die. And we've often talked about this, the challenges we have. It never stops. We feel like we can't take a break. We can't take lunch. We can't take time off. But recently I have changed that. So I try to make time for personal things, even if it's just going to have dinner with a friend or something after work, to kind of lift my spirits because I've been working so hard, and making an appointment and keeping that appointment. And also, I think you should definitely put work-life balance as number 1, because if you leave tomorrow, they're going to find someone else to do what you're doing. And I have to tell myself that every day. I do a lot of things, but I have to tell myself, someone else can do this too. Someone else could do it better. So I need to take care of myself. So I usually when I'm at home, I take my dog for a walk twice. I take her at 12:30. I take her again at 5:30. When I come back, it's dinner time. That I might pop back on and check some emails and work. I do work late when I'm at home. I work harder when I'm at home. I get more done when I'm at home. I love working from home. I'm a super extrovert. So in the beginning, I was a little, I had a little PTSD. I was shell shocked. Like I didn't even know where to start until I identified a space. This is my office. I put a desk there. I made it an office. And then when I go up there, I work. And when I come down, I'm not going back. As a matter of fact, now I come downstairs to eat my lunch. I used to take my lunch back up and eat while I'm still working. So no, go downstairs, eat your lunch. When you go to your office, you're working. When you don't go there, you're doing other things, to give you that peace of mind. So when I come into the office, I don't get a lot done. I try to, but I have a lot of interruptions because my fellows are here. They usually email me, they find out I'm here, they come by to see me, ask a question. So I get a lot of interruptions, but no matter what, you need to find work-life balance. You need to take time for yourself. It's not gonna, nothing's gonna blow up, just make sure you take care of yourself, you take time off, you take PTO. And the last time I took PTO, I did not take my laptop. So that's another rule I have now. I'm not taking my laptop. I am on PTO, so I am not available. And you can't enjoy your time off if you take the laptop. You're still thinking about work. So I just strongly encourage, and it's good for your mental health too. It's like physically, mental and stress makes you sick. So it's good to keep your mental health in check. And laughter is great for the soul. So take time off, go laugh, go do something. If you have a dog, walk your dog. Even when I go walk my dog, that 15 minutes, when I come back, I feel refreshed. I'm just out with nature for a few minutes, and I still feel refreshed when I return. So thank you.
I just wanted to jump in here. I actually have been given the opportunity to work from home 100%. But I choose to come into the office every Tuesday and Thursday. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I work from home. And I literally have on my calendar at lunchtime, I block that out because that's when I go to yoga. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at lunchtime. And then, the reason why I choose to come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays is because I look so bad when I work from home that it's nice to put on makeup, comb my hair, put on a bra, and just come into the office. But I have the option of working from home. But it's nice to come in too because it's nice to see faces, to talk to people. I have 2 cats, they're kind of tired of me. So, you just kind of find that balance. And I love my schedule. I absolutely love my schedule. And I feel that I have it down and I'm less stressed. And plus my setup at work, like my monitor is so big. And you find what works for you and you stick with it. And, if you're good, if they really appreciate you, then they will work with you. But put you first. I always say UC has been around for 150 years, and they'll be around for another 150 years. So, it is what it is. Thank you.
I am loving all of this discussion, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm loving it. And everybody who has put in the chat. By the way, I'm gonna share this chat later, after I de-identify and everything. It's great, and I want to share what Laura, you made me laugh so much. And I kid you not, when she and I got together during ACGME, it was fun. She says, PTO, prepare the others. I think we should get a sign about that. What do you guys think? But yeah, I'm loving all this conversation about exercise, seeing other people. Yes. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm an introvert, like through and through. I just work in an extroverted role. How you and when I get home, I'm just like, oh my God, I want. And then like what I'm doing a doctoral degree. Like last night I had class and I'm like this very serious, very putting my hand over my face. I don't know about you guys, but I was so tired. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk, but I had to talk, obviously, because discussion, that's part of it. We need t-shirts, yes.
I was talking to one of my former residents last night till 10 o'clock because he called me up and he's like, hey, so I know that you guys offered me a job, but I decided to go somewhere else and I feel really bad. And I'm sorry about that. And called to apologize to me that he wasn't going to come and work with us as faculty. And I'm like, I love you so much. And if you don't come back soon, I will hunt you down. And that's all there is to it. But I mean, I understand that though. I want to decompress at night. And I've got like former residents calling me going, hey, just wanted to call and check and see how you were. And they're all happy and cheerful. And I'm like, where are you getting this energy from? And why have you drank this much caffeine today? I just want to know.
Hi, my name is Melanie and I'm from Little Rock at UAMS. I also think it depends on your stage of life at the moment. So for me personally, I'm majorly stressed out because I have two seniors. One's in college, one's in high school, and they're both graduating soon. So I have all of that on the personal side that I'm dealing with, trying to make sure all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed with them. And so you have your personal list with all of that information on it. And then trying to be the mother to help the college senior find a job when she graduates and the high school senior get into college, and you have all of that. And then you come into work and you have this time of year with the onboarding starting, you have all of that. So I have a few core people here that are program coordinators as well, that if I didn't have them, I would probably lose my mind every day because I can go to them and they'll talk me off the ledge. So I think I also work in the office most of the time because UAMS really doesn't want you to work from home. Some coordinators can, most of us don't. We do come into the office every day. And I agree with other people. When I am at home, I get distracted way too easily. Especially right now, I would probably not get anything done if I was at home because of the other personal items I have going on. So I totally think you need to find your little core group in your office, or not in your office necessarily, but at your institution, that kind of do the same thing you do for the support to help keep your wellness in check.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. So people have put on the chat statements they have written on their signature lines for when they email a work after hours, and I like them. It's amazing. And I'm reading right now, Stephanie, I like your theme days. She says her coworkers and her have theme days where they dress the same, like Monday shirt, Tuesday blues day, greens and jeans. Working in the office where there's a lot of external support to find little joys in the job. Yes.
I think that's what you have to do. You have to find little joys in your job, and you have to celebrate every win. They talked about that at the ACGME conference. Every win counts. If yesterday I was working on something diligently. I had a lot to do, and then I remembered something else I had that was pertinent, and the deadline's coming up. It's just a small win for me. Great. I remembered it. I remembered it, and I'll do it. Just celebrate every win, even if you remembered a deadline. If you remember to book an appointment, if you remember to do a task that you need to do, just celebrate it. Celebrate yourself and your wins. If you did something great, if I think I did a great job with my interviews, which I say I do every year. I'm gonna do a great job this year too. I tell myself that already before it starts. I don't worry about any of the hiccups. It's going to be great. And at the end of the day, if no one says anything to Bridget, I'm like, this was a huge task. All these moving parts, I did a good job. You have to commend and celebrate yourself.
You know, guys, also for me, I participate in some of the things. Say, for instance, we have community-based management, community-based rotation, and I participate in that in connecting some of our community partners with our team or with our director that oversees community-based medicine. And when there's an event or something they're putting together, a lecture to the seniors, a talk, a luncheon, and I may attend and help out with that, and that gets me out and in the community and also with the residents and the faculty. And it makes me feel good to be able to participate in our community, because where we are located, it's a food desert. And so there's a lot, there's no transportation around our surrounding area. There's no bus line, so for some people, it's hard for them to get to and from the doctor, or if they don't live within so many blocks or miles from transportation. So it makes me feel good to participate with those teams and help them out and get in the community, and it gets me out and just gives me an additional respect for my residents and faculty, and just a good feeling overall for my team.
So let's piggyback from the celebrating topic. What is one thing that you would definitely said, I am celebrating this year. This was my goal, I accomplished it. Or, it could be like, some people say I had a great interview season, or I passed Tag Me, or stuff like that. What is a great celebration point for you this year? Sharon.
Hi, everybody. And I think hi, Aria, and everybody else since ACGME. It was the best to see you guys in person. It made my month. So hi to you guys. If we met Aria and Laura specifically. My win for this academic year, we had an ACGME site visit right before the ACGME conference. And it was a stress like I've never encountered before. Not my first ACGME site visit, but the first one with as many issues as we've had. And we got our notice that we are continued accreditation, period. So I put in the chat, I totally will take myself out to Red Lobster. I will specifically pick the day when I do not have my kids because I'm not trying to share. Judge me if you want. That's what I do.
My goodness.
Hi, my name is Erica.
Those?
Hi, my name is Erica. I'm from UC Irvine over in California. My biggest win is I haven't quit after 15 years. I've been going through a huge turnover of program directors, more than ever in my whole years of doing coordinating and managing and supervising. So I'm struggling with these two newbies. I have a new APD and a new PD, and they have 3 months under their belt and they think they know everything, which is awesome because they're ambitious. They're ready to rock and roll, and I love that. It's just one of them went to the ACGME conference and he got it. He was like, oh my God, without you, we would be drowning. We would be like not, meeting our deadlines and da-da-da. And then the other PD was like, I want to do it my way. I want to figure it out my way. So I was still battling and struggling with my two PDs, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have 16 residents, so I'm running the fellowships and the residency program. So I have 9 fellowships and 16 residents. So we just hired a coordinator who's helping me on board. But my biggest win is I haven't quit. I'm not giving up. I never do. But I love this group. I think it's amazing. The support, the feedback, we're all going through the same journey together and we're not alone. And I love this. So, Aria, it's always great to see you at the ACGME conference and seeing you up there speaking. So the community here, oh my God, you guys are amazing. I love hearing all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Erica, I applaud you. Honestly.
Yeah.
I applaud you. Anybody else who wants to share their like big or it doesn't matter how big or small it is.
I think I got through APE this year. Phew, I'm so sick of it. Like the annual program evaluation, there's so many moving parts to it. And this year our GME office really focused, really zoomed in on it. And there were all the requirements had to be met. And I feel good about that. It's a great accomplishment. And so I won't approach it with fear next year or avoidance. I'll just get it done, start getting it done. So I hear that they're going to require a little bit more next year, but I think I'll be prepared. So I'm glad about that. And Erica, I want to say hi, Erica. How are you doing? And hang in there because, you know, often people come on board and they think they know everything. And I heard someone say this in one of my OFW meetings that when you come on board, it's best to listen and learn and embrace the way a process is being done. And then once you learn that, then you build trust because you're learning from the people who are there. You build that trust, and then you can bring in new ideals and ways to do something. So I'll be thinking about you, and I hope he or she calms down and realizes that they can learn a lot from you, you know, because basically all of us, we are the experts, you know, so it's a big learning curve, but if he would calm down, he could get a lot from you. So all the best, Erica.
You know, I just wanted to add also with when new people come in or whatever you're doing, those who've been there for a while, or even just for a couple of years, even when you come in, there are so many projects that we would like to start or, begin or put into place, but we just don't have time because we have so much, or we present it, but it's not welcomed at that time because who you need to get approval from or who you need to work is just not done. So sometimes when new people come in, they don't, they may not understand that you do have these other projects that you would have liked to put in place, just wasn't activated or approved for activation. So I do applaud all of you because there is so much on your plate. I know there are so many things that you wish you could do and do differently. You need the backing and the time. So don't feel discouraged when it's not accepted when you present it. But pretty soon it will come around because the project is more than likely needed. So don't feel discouraged that your voice is not heard. Don't feel discouraged about that. Just keep on doing what you're doing. And to me, I always said, when you're doing something for the right reason, it's all good.
I am definitely loving this. Honestly, this conversation. Stacy, I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring you forward. I'm so proud. We have about the small wins or bigger wins. We just received this week on Tuesday night initial accreditation for a new internal medicine rural program, and Stacy Etherly's here. She's the program coordinator, and honestly, Stacy, you have done so much. So you are amazing. So that's kind of our little win this this week here.
Yes, ma'am. That's been a really big win. So we're very excited.
Yay. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have residency fair. So we've been preparing for that. Anybody else who want to share? It doesn't matter how big or small, what is a good win for you for this year?
I have a small win that I switched different organization within the past year. I was with an organization for 20 years, and switched to a new organization. The organization that I did leave was getting a little too toxic. I was told the grass wasn't greener on the other side. And I am here to say the grass is greener on the other side sometimes. And I am working with a great program director. I loved that when we interviewed, he says, I'll have your back, you have my back, and we're gonna tackle this. And it's been the most amazing ride thus far. I am so glad and so proud of myself that I made the leap to do it, because I was afraid to do it. Because you always know what you have, right? And you don't want to leave that because that's your comfort. And I'm so glad I did it. And I am so much happier. My work-life balance is amazing. And yeah, I'm really, really happy about that.
I love that. I love that. This is Kimberly. Hi guys, I joined late. Gabrielle said that she signed up for Tag Me, so way to go. That's huge. And if you ever need help with any of that, reach out to the group. Aria or I, I've been there twice. I think Aria's been there twice. I need to recert next year. She researched this year, so yes.
I just have a small win.
Oops.
I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
After 25 years of managing a residency program and now fellowship programs, I finally succeeded with both my fellowship programs completing faculty and fellow, completing 100% completion on the annual survey. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, that was like a huge success this year.
You need to be talking about that on your evaluation. When it comes evaluation time, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
We forget those little things that we get successful at. And so that's why I try to remember that, when it comes time. And so.
That's a major feat. I get my fellows to do 100% this last time, and then still faculty. We ended at, I think, 86%. There's still always those stragglers, but so that's a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. Congratulations.
It would be interesting to see the ACGME numbers of how many programs, where they hit, right? It would be very interesting to see that information. So Aria, I don't have I mean, I have lots of wins, but the big win right now for me, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I'm going to be putting it on the program coordinator Facebook page for your feedback, is I have been asked to develop a pre-residency elective or boot camp for our fourth year students here at TCOM. I'm super excited about it because what I feel like so many people get to residency and it's just shocking for them. It's shell shock. It's, different things. And so what I'm going to be putting on the coordinators page, and I'll be glad to share my information, which we will always share anything we do research on, is I would like to know, to the minutest pet peeve that you have when residents come in, what is it you wish they knew when they start residency or from the day they match? So I just recently talked to our fourth year students. We talked about all their match results, and then they brought me in and they said, what do you want to say to the fourth year students? And I said, what I want to say is, from the day you match, you have work to do. You're going to have training modules. You are going to have emails. You are going to have deadlines. You are going to have, 30 days before you start. Most people don't want you to go anywhere because they want you to take your drug test 30 days out, different things like that. And every institution's different. But what I'm going to be putting on the Facebook page to develop the survey, to develop the course, is as a coordinator, and I'm going to be sending this to program directors separately, as coordinators, what do you wish the incoming students knew about residency or about their responsibilities or something not to do, right? So I've even talked to students because they're like, what's the best way to show up for a rotation, or what's things not to do? Well, this is a little silly, but it's happened. Don't be late because you stopped and brought everybody coffee, like just little common sense things. So I just wanted to announce that and let you guys know that's going to come on the coordinator page. And then how that rolls out in any research or the course, I will be glad to share that information as it comes along. Also, we have all the data from the remote hybrid survey I did, and I've shared that with some other people. If anybody's interested in that, you can reach out if you need that information to kind of maybe use it as leverage to work a hybrid schedule or work remote a couple of days a week, anything like that. So, but I'm excited to try to prepare students a little bit better for residency.
And the rest of us will thank you for that because I contributed to, but I know the chat is like blowing up with, you know, the things that we want people to know, which is basically you are still an adult and this is a full-time job. Like, you know, you hit the ground running and you're going to be exhausted, but there are resources and you need to find them and that they need to advocate for themselves. One of the biggest things I took from ACGME, which is something that I personally have always done because it's part of what I need, is like making disability inclusion just as important as all the other components that we have. And I actually registered for the Doctors with Disabilities like DIGME group, which is the best acronym ever. Oh my gosh. Disability in GME, DIGME. I love it. And I actually had the gal in our office who does our website sit with me on that. And she was absolutely just mind blown by these simple things that we don't even have. Like we have no way to explain that in UME, undergraduate medical education, you still fall under the educational protections of disability accommodations, and the transition from UME to GME it's not a one-to-one because now you're in an employer role. So it's different, but it's still required. They still have to make accommodations. You still need to be able to have those conversations. And there's a lot of fear and a lot of around that because nobody wants to be seen as less than. Nobody wants to be seen as less competent. So making those kinds of connections for folks, it's like you don't stop being who you are when you move through these roles. You're still going to need all of the different things that you had, but at the same time, you're a grown-up. Read your email. Do what we ask. Please don't make us ask 8 times. I'm willing to ask 4, but please don't make me ask 8 times, okay?
No, I agree. And so the read your email, it's stuff that is that simple, but I want to be able to accentuate that and say, you know, read your email, check your so when I had a program, I don't anymore, but when I had a program and I did my orientation, it was like, number 1, I'm going to email you. Number 2, I'm going to text you. I expect an email response within 24 to 48 hours. If I text you, you need to be responding in the next 2 to 3 hours. If it's a 911, like you need to pick up the phone and call me. Like I gave them, here's the status of how I expect, you know, responses. And even that seemed a struggle for some of them, but we're talking about even rolling this out, depending on how it goes here at TCOM, rolling it out in a bigger way. But, and some schools already do this. And so that's exciting. But I over my last few years of coordination, I had so many people who were just shocked at, they didn't get to leave at 5, or people that would come in and like, because students are used to getting fed a lot, right? And that's great. But then they would come into like orientation and I had somebody pack up all the food before everybody ate to take it home. And I said, I'm still feeding people. Like we have people coming in from, I mean, just simple, and it's common sense stuff really, but it's so anyway, I will be glad to take any tidbit you guys want to give us and try to incorporate it into things that they need to know. So.
I know in our program, our residency program, so our director meets with the residents the first day that they're going to be rotating. They start their rotation and we give them a lot of rules and advice and instructions. But number one, I want to say is that what I put in the chat, they fail to read. And then they have all these questions. And I'm like, everything is in your email. It's so detailed from our Our research trainee department is phenomenal, and everything is in the email. The welcome email tells them everything they need to know as far as the logistics and onboarding and getting themselves acclimated at the institution. And then we as a department give them the intricacies of their rotation specifics of what they're going to do. So if we can just convince people to read, and I have the same challenge with my fellows. Right now, I just sent a nasty email to my fellows. Yes, nasty, because I have 2 or 3 that haven't even started their phase 2 of the new innovations. And I just have to remind them, you know, your failure to do this could delay your appointment, and there is a fee for that. And the department does not pay that fee. And we don't even want to encounter that. So, you know, I told my director yesterday, I gave him a pass by just sending it to him. I didn't CC him, but the next email I will CC Congress, because I understand they're a chief, but sometimes people, you apply, you interview, you're selected, and now there's a process to get on board. And I'm so confused with the fact that you're dying to come here, you interview, you apply, you interview, and then you don't want to do the steps to get on board. And it's just confusing to me. But even residents do not read. They don't follow instructions. My future fellows, the same thing. But reading is fundamental.
No, Bridget, I can't tell you how many times I said, you know where the program manual's at? Like, it's on MedHub, it's in New Innovations, like it's in the program manual. So yes.
This has been so amazing. We're getting so much comments in the chat again. I will send this later on. Michelle, I'm going to share yours. It says, she said, creating an FAQ sheet before start date makes finding answers to questions easy. That is amazing. That is amazing.
We do that. We also have our fellows sign a form. We created a form for the rules of travel. Can't buy your own airline ticket, you know, certain things you can't do. We make a form for that. They read it, they sign it, and then they still do it. They're still, oh, I bought my ticket because I saw it was cheap. What? You sign this form so you know the rules. You know, it's like, what do you do with these people? What do you do? And so the thing is, I have to tell them, sadly, you will not be reimbursed for a ticket you purchased on your own. Sorry.
It's the consequence. They have not experienced consequences.
Exactly.
And so, and you know, I just met with a faculty member, you know, they've gotten everything instantly. And, you know, they have Google, they can get all the answers they want. They don't want to wait for an answer. And so I want to work on those fine skills, you know, to talk to them and be like, okay, you have to have patience. Everything's not on Google, right? You're working with human beings and you don't want everything to be immediate. So.
This honestly has been amazing. We are almost at the top of the hour, so I wanted to share real quickly how the needs assessment is going. So we have received 57 responses so far, and the topic that has most responses as of now, 10:52 a.m. Central Time, is project management. So I am loving all of these responses. And then I'm going to scroll down here about other choices for topics that people have put here. Form automation. Laura, I think we might need to do it again. Tag me providing feedback up the chain. That's interesting. Working towards promotions, SCARI activity for PCs. Successful networking, and tag me again. This is so nice. I love it. Honestly, thank you so much. And then I had another question I want to show you guys. Some of the lessons learned, you know, I honestly, all of this that you guys have shared, it's amazing. Let's be honest, when we started when we started doing this 3 years ago, we're about to start our 4th year. We never thought it will get this big. We never thought it will get this big. And seeing all of this, all of your responses, all your participation, we know it's busy. We're all busy. There are times that are busier than others. I call the academy year a roller coaster. honestly. But I love all of this and I love all of you. And I really, really want us to keep growing. I really want us to keep growing. So any last words before we reconvene for the final time of the 23-24 academic year?
I absolutely love that somebody put in their scholarly activities for program coordinators, because I gave a brief 15-minute overview presentation on that at my institution before we came to ACGME. It was literally, we all work in academia, so we can be scholars too, and there's plenty of places where you can do these things. And there were actually, some of the feedback was, well, I thought scholarly activity was only for residents, fellows, and faculty. And I was like, scholarly activity is scholarly activity. It's for everybody. So I was super excited for that, to see that somebody put that in there. So kudos to whoever put that in there.
I wanted to say too, I wanted to back up what Eva said, that she's happy to help anybody research for TAGME. I've never paid for TAGME prep. I mean, I think it's probably valuable. And I've been TAGME certified going on 14 years now. But I mean, we can provide you with information. TAGME is already expensive, and I doubt you'll get reimbursed for that. If your institution reimburses you for TAGME, that's great. Just to say, we would gladly help.
All right, somebody just asked about the Facebook page, so I'm including it in the chat. Again, thank you guys so much for everything during this year. I am so proud of the work that we do. This is our family. Kimberly, they're asking for your email.
Yep.
We're gonna I'm gonna send after this, obviously I'm gonna convert the recording and send it via email with the links for the needs assessment and the certificates. Please give us some time to work on the certificates. They're gonna come. We just it's been a little bit chaotic. You know how it is. Sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's not, but it's coming. Schedule for next year will be coming out in the next few months, but obviously it's going to stay the same. If anybody is interested in presenting, please let us know. We're going to share I'm going to share the results later on of the needs assessment. Please share with everybody that you know about this group. So many thank you to everybody who has joined us during this year. At this time, we'll see you in August. Have a great
We start
rest
back
of the
in
year.
August. I saw that question, and I just wanted to say, if you have a thought or you have an idea that's been rolling around in your head and you're like, I'd really like to know more about that, or I really struggle with this, think about presenting something about it. Or, I mean, it sounds scary. Trust me, I know. But this is such a safe place. And I promise you, if you're thinking about it, if you're struggling with it, someone else is too. But thank you everybody for coming. So.
All right. See you in August, everybody.